Leave, who will be joining us live on the Gambler Hotline. Do we have
Ric Flair?
Do we have the one and only Ric Flair right now on the Gambler Hotline?
Yeah, absolutely do.
Oh my goodness, Rick! I got to do it.
The one and the only.
The one and the only Ric Flair. Rick, I only get one opportunity.
Comes to the city of brotherly love.
Let's go. I only got one opportunity to do an introduction for Ric Flair, so please allow me to set this up, Rick. One time, baby. Here we go. Here we go.
Man, let's do it.
Here we go.
Let's
All right.
do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this man needs no introduction, but it's my first time to speak with him live on the Daily Ticket, so allow me to yell to the mountaintops. He's styling, profiling, limousine riding, jet flying, kiss stealing, wheeling and dealing, son of a gun, the one and only Ric Flair joining us right now. WrestleMania coming to Philadelphia, and so is the legend himself, Ric Flair. Rick, good afternoon. Sean Brace, Philly, how we doing today, sir?
Doing great, man. How's the weather there?
Terrible. Absolutely brutal, Rick. Bring a raincoat, man. Bring a raincoat.
The sun will be shining when I land, brother.
You're damn
And
right.
I just bought some new alligators for the occasion.
Woo! Hard time keeping those alligators down. Oh, Rick.
Hell yeah, especially in Philly.
Rick, so much to discuss with you. First of all, you're here courtesy of our friends over at Green Legion. Quimby and company are going to roll out the red carpet and then some for you, sir. We have the most maniacs of fan base in all of sports, period. And every single one of them are members of Green Legion. So, folks, if you want to party with Rick this weekend at Xfinity Live, greenlegion.com. Rick, so much to discuss with you, sir, but how are things going in your world, man? Catch us up. What's new in your life right now, Rick?
No, everything's great, man. I've had a couple of days off, and the cannabis business is good. The Woo Energy drink is selling off the charts, and life is good, man.
That's what I'm talking about.
Raising hell every day I'm alive.
My man, never stop. I love it. Rick, so over the weekend, of course, everyone's getting crazy for WrestleMania. I do some in-arena announcing for this for our local lacrosse team, in the city, Philadelphia Wings. We had a
cool.
WWE day. Ricochet was there. We were part. I dressed up as you. And long story short is this. It's got to be tiring to be Ric Flair. Everybody wanted to woo every time I turned around. Is that how it is for you? It's got to be tiring to be Ric Flair.
No, it really doesn't. I don't mind it. I'll probably, when it doesn't happen, then I'll be tired. I enjoy it.
That's it.
Life is good, man. I've had some great times in Philadelphia. I'm real close to Charles Barkley and Allen Iverson, and just so many great memories. I used to do that damn wing bowl when you guys had it. That's the damnest party I've ever been to in my entire life. And that's saying a lot.
Yeah, no reason why they got rid of that. It's unfortunate, but I know you were featured there.
Yeah.
Bright and early in the morning, hanging with Ric Flair down at the Wing Bowl. I like that. Rick, speaking of Philadelphia, the matches over the years, we were talking about it. Of course, it had the ECW history over the years. But as far as like Ric Flair coming up and wrestling here at the old Spectrum days, what are some of those matches that come to your mind when you start talking about the Spectrum days?
Well, we were at the Civic Center for years before the Spectrum with the winner. Well, it was the NWA. But I think, just I wrestled Piper there. I got to wrestle Bret Hart, wrestled the Hulk there a couple of times. I mean, Cat doesn't get any better than that. I really enjoyed my runs there, and I had a phenomenal, and Philadelphia, and I'm not saying it because I'm coming to visit, is the greatest sports town in the world because they make it very clear that they don't like what you're doing.
You're damn right.
And they make it very clear if you do like what you're doing.
And you got to respect that, right? Like we're honest with our teams.
Why bullshit around? Say what you think, man.
That's it. Rick, we're talking to the legend that is Ric Flair. Of course, hang out with him all weekend long at the Green Legion tailgate. Tickets still available, greenlegion.com. WrestleMania 40 in Philly. Rick, I'm doing some...
Tickets are still available? Is that possible?
No, tickets for Green Legion, the tailgate. I believe, and, the head maestro, Quimby, hit me up and said, push the packages. Where's
Craig right now, man? Tickets can't still be available knowing I'm coming.
Well, yeah, you're right. I'd love to ask him about that after I get off the hook with you here. Rick, you've had a couple matches in WrestleMania over the years, I believe 6 or 7, if I'm not mistaken. What's your favorite one? If I'm a newbie, I want to go back and watch some Ric Flair at WrestleMania. What's the one I need to watch?
Oh, probably in my later years, or you're talking about my last one there, or when I was in the 90s?
Your favorite one?
Oh, I guess, my 2 favorite matches, I think, in my entire relationship with the WWE were, of course, with Shawn when I retired, and then I had a couple of classics I thought with Triple H, and then of course WrestleMania 18 was with Taker was a huge deal for me. So, I had fun there. It was an enjoyable atmosphere and professional, and so many great people, and I just nothing but fond memories.
I love it. Rick, The Rock is featured this weekend, 51 years old.
Yeah.
Folks are questioning whether or not he's going to have the endurance to keep up in a main event. What do you say to that, Rick?
I say bullshit. The Rock can do anything he wants to do. If you looked at him, he looks like he's 25 years old. The Rock will tear it down, man.
That's what it's all about. You ain't lying there.
Just walking out the door, and I saw Cody today on First Take. I mean, they're gonna have a hell of a show. Happy for them. I don't work for them anymore, but they know I support them and think the world of them personally. So I'm very excited for all of them.
All right. Once again, Ric Flair.
The Rock can't lose. He's doing a movie on my life.
Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. A biopic. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Well, I can't wait to check that out. Ric Flair
$7
on the Gambler Hotline right now. Party with him all weekend long. GreenLegion.com. Rick, a couple quick ones here. Number one, present day. Who's your favorite present day wrestler? And you could say whatever.
My daughter. She's not only present day. She's the greatest female wrestler of all time.
Of all time. No shock there. She's a Flair.
Well, I know. I'm just serious. You look at her accolades already. She's out this year right now with a knee injury, but was pretty severe. But she's recovering, and she'll be there watching and supporting. But she's my favorite wrestler up in the company.
Rick, I have a 4-year-old daughter. Were you nervous when your daughter wanted to get in the ring?
Well, I wasn't crazy about the idea, but once she got involved, there was no turning her around. So, and I mean, and now I look back, and I'm glad she did it. She's done so well for herself. She's very successful. I mean, really successful. She's done well. She's saved her money, owns 4 homes. I mean, she's not like me at all. She lives a more conservative lifestyle.
I love it. But that's all right. Look, like my daughter, she's going to learn a lot from what Dad did wrong. And I'm nowhere near Ric Flair. That's for damn sure. But, she's going to learn a lot.
I adore her, man. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Hey, Rick, 2 more real quick. We do a little rapid fire on this show called Slap That Bag. So I got 2 more for you. Ready?
Okay.
Number 1,
Yep.
One wrestler you never got in the ring with, but you wish you did.
Roman Reigns.
Ooh. Why is that?
Because I think Roman's great, but I mean, I missed him by 30 years. I'm 75. He's 38 or something like that. But he's done a phenomenal job. He's been the flagship since John left, and it's a big job being the flagship of that company, especially for the men's division. I think my daughter is pretty generally recognized as the flagship for the women's division, even though she's injured right now. When she comes back, she'll tear the joint down again like she always has.
You're darn right.
But Roman's done a phenomenal job. I love seeing John come back and be involved, but Roman's carried the torch, and he's represented the company really well.
Yeah, well said. Rick, this always comes up in a conversation. Technical wrestler, the best technical wrestler of all time to Ric Flair was who?
Bret Hart.
Okay. Yeah, that was set.
The best technical is the Hitman.
He was the best of the best when it comes down to that.
Technically wrestling, yes, absolutely.
All right, and last one.
I think that the greatest wrestler of all time is Shawn Michaels, but as far as being technical, I'd have to give it to Brett.
I love it. Both answers. Absolutely. Right across the board. All right. Final one for the legend that is Ric Flair. Rick, did anyone do it better than you, my friend?
Not a chance. We know that.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
Ric
They
Flair.
couldn't afford me. If I was 35, they couldn't afford me.
Rick,
I'd be looking for Otani money.
Oh, I love it. Ric Flair, you are the legend, my friend. Can't thank you enough for a couple minutes.
And tell Bryce Harper, God damn, that looked good last night.
Woo! 3 home runs, Rick. 3. Not one,
Bryce,
not 2,
Bryce.
but 3. Woo! Rick, can't thank you enough,
guys.
man. We'll see you this weekend at Green Legion.
Yeah, you guys.
My man.
And keep on beating the Dallas Cowboys, will you? Come on.
You're damn right. You're damn right.
Bye, guys.
Ric Flair.
Bye, guys.
The legend, the one, the only, Ric frickin' Flair. Live! GreenLegion.com. Get your tickets. Get on down there this weekend. It doesn't get any better than that. My man's in cannabis? I didn't know that. He said he wanted that Otani money. Oh, so good. So good. I will be fully upfront with you. When you get into these situations, I don't have a producer. I'm by myself in here. And I see the phone ring. You hope he calls in at time, on time at 4:00, which he was scheduled to. He did. He was even better than what I thought he would have been. I'm a one-man band behind the scenes, pushing buttons, hoping, hitting everything right. That was incredible. That went right there, top notch. And thank you, Quimby, and of course Green Legion for making that happen. I got the text message last night that said, "Do you want Rick?" And I said, "Are you talking about Flair?" He said, "Yeah." I go, "What do you think that answer is?" I dressed up as the guy on Saturday. Like the top 3 wrestlers in my mind, you just say spitball 3 wrestlers. I probably will say Ric Flair number 1. I just would. It's Warrior or Ric Flair for me. Just so many nights sitting there watching him, and of course, over the years, still with us, going through it, and just about as real as it gets. That was incredible. I'm heart's beating fast, man. That was really cool. A kid in a candy store, as they say. Fantastic stuff. Once again, Mania week. Nobody is doing it like we are doing it here on The Gambler. We changed our damn name this week to The Wrestler. We are coming to you live tomorrow with Jason Solomon, fantastic podcaster in the wrestling world, teaming up with Mark Henry live in studio here tomorrow. Friday, Buster, myself, Bex from Q102. We're all broadcasting live from the convention center. It goes Pat McAfee on ESPN. He's done it 3, hands it off to us at the convention center from 3 to 7 p.m. on Friday. Come on. Woo! Are you kidding me? And that's just the appetizer. This weekend, we're live. Flair's going to be on these airwaves. I'm told Saturday and Sunday at 4 p.m. Green Legion's tailgate. Mania taking place. Raw at the Wells Fargo Center Monday. Folks, I'm not even a wrestling guy. I'm not. But if this doesn't hook you this week, you don't have a damn pulse. How about that? Giving a shot at the end, or a shout out at the end to Bryce Harper. Kick those Cowboys' ass. Dropping some curses. I had to dump them. So good. So good. All right, we're going to take a quick time out. Coming up at 4:30, we'll talk some Phils with Luke Arcaini, who was dressed up as Stone Cold. Made a Stone Cold t-shirt. I'll tell you what, I got to give him a little credit on that. Arts and crafts. Luke didn't skip that class back in high school. Nice work making that Austin 316 shirt out of nowhere. Great times last night. And I got to give shout out to Luke because everybody was watching the Sixers game inside the Dunkin' Lounge. Luke was over to the right watching the Phillies solo. Dude is just so invested with that squad and, of course, the league. We got to go over some big picture stuff with Luke as well, talking about who's hot to start this season, teams that he think could start to burn a little bit, fire it up, or go the opposite way for some of these favorites that we were talking about in the preseason and spring training. Who looks good, who looks a little off right now. Nothing too crazy as we're only 5 games into the regular season. But you know what the cliche is. You can't win a championship in April, but you can lose one. So we'll find out what Luke has to say about that. All that and more. It's the Daily Ticket. Ric Damn Flair. How good was that? Don't go anywhere. More after this.
Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. Now, total traffic for Philadelphia.
Traffic a real mess for the Wednesday drive home. It's crawling 95 northbound, barely moving. Girard up to the Betsy Ross. That's where everyone has to exit due to ongoing emergency road work. The Vine Expressway crawling both ways. Schuylkill to Broad on the eastbound side at Broad. The right lane's blocked with a crash. The westbound Schuylkill, that's Shan University out to the Boulevard off-ramp where the right lane's blocked with a down tree. Eastbound Schuylkill, stop and go blue route to Belmont and Montgomery Drive to south. Totella, total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Jackson Hewitt. It matters who does your taxes.
Why are people saying Hugh yeah to Jackson Hewitt? When you switch to Jackson Hewitt, they will beat what you paid last year on tax prep, even if you filed online. Proof of prior year payment required when filing. New clients only at participating locations through April 7th. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com.
When perfect is in the air, you can feel it. Presenting the ultimate comfort system from Lennox. The most advanced heating and air conditioning system ever. Expect consistently clean and perfect air delivered by an eco-friendly system that's also the most efficient available. Maybe it's time to rethink your air.
Now get rebates up to $1,700. Or qualified buyers get no interest, no payments for 12 months on an ultimate comfort system from Lennox. Terms and conditions apply. See participating dealer for details.
Stay tuned to Fox PHL The Gambler for the latest CEOs you should know.
Bill Golderer, President and CEO of the United Way of Greater Philadelphia and Southern New Jersey.
Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
In the 90s, New York detective Louis Scarcella locked up the worst criminals.
Putting bad guys away. There's no feeling like it.
Then jailhouse lawyers took aim, led by Derek Hamilton.
Scarcella took me to the precinct and lied.
20 men eventually walked free. Now, in the Burden podcast, after a decade of silence, Louis Scarcella finally tells his story, and so does Derek Hamilton. Listen to The Burden on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
When something happens to your kitchen and you say,
"This is ludicrous,"
you get
having trouble? Don't panic. Don't be alarmed. You need to file a claim? Holla at State Farm.
That's right. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
State Farm, Bloomington, Illinois.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency on earth. And if you owe back taxes, the news isn't good. The IRS is raising the interest rate it charges on unpaid taxes, and further rate hikes are expected. Most people don't know it, but the IRS adds interest charges to your tax debts daily. So if you owe the IRS today, you'll owe even more tomorrow. And it doesn't stop until you get right with the IRS. The good news is getting right can start with one phone call to Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm. Optima's tax professionals specialize in the Fresh Start Initiative, a powerful IRS program that can save you thousands if you qualify. In fact, the experts at Optima have resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients. Call now for a free consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Timmy, everybody. Great job. Next up, we have Samantha.
10 times better performance can make a big difference. Castrol Edge Motor Oil gives your engine 10 times better high-temperature performance. Castrol Edge, better oil for maximum performance. Now through April 23rd, get a $15 gift card when you buy 5 or more quarts of Edge or Edge High Mileage Full Synthetic, only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Claim based on Sequence 3 H test versus API SP test limits.
Hey, man, you all right? Need me to call 911? No, call Top Dog Law. Get top dollar for your accident at topdoglaw.com. Once again, that's topdoglaw.com.
Suter comes set in the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a drive. Well hit up the alley, right center field, and it is gone. A grand slam. 3 for number 3 as Bryce Harper with his 3rd home run of the night. His 2nd career 3-homer game in the big leagues, his 1st as a Philly.
Woo! So good, man. Still buzzing. Phone's going nuts. Shout out to the Gambler gang listening in and, of course, supporting. Would be nowhere without those guys. Of course, Quimby, GreenLegion.com. Green Legion has been a part of this from day one. Can't thank him and his team enough for giving us the opportunity to roll with him. I say it every single Sunday. You can talk about those other radio stations. Those 2 other radio stations in town aren't live every Eagles Sunday from enemy territory. We are. We're the only place that is live from enemy territory. That's away games for the Birds. We're broadcasting live every single Sunday, and it's all because of Green Legion, Quimby and Company. Nobody does it better. Once again, check them out, greenlegion.com. They got Phillies tailgates, of course, everything that's coming up with Mania this week, and they've been all over it. And hell, they're even going to London they're going to Brazil too. Jeez. Yeah, they're going to Brazil. Birds are opening up the season on Peacock on a Friday, but if you roll with Green Legion, you won't have to worry about streaming it. You'll just make it down there. And, of course, I can imagine Brazil for an Eagles game. It's going to be exciting. A lot to look at, I would assume. All right. You heard Ric Flair, just funny stuff from him with the technical wrestler. Whenever we would talk about wrestling on the previous show that I was a part of, which I loved, and like my former co-host John Marks and I, we were on the same wavelength with wrestling. He was a little bit deeper, like for the old school guys. He was a little bit more in tune with some of those guys. My knowledge somewhat burned away over the years, but I didn't remember as much as he did. That's for damn sure. But we both were on like somewhat of the same plane when it came to wrestling. And I know for damn sure he wasn't keeping up with the new stuff, and neither was I. Now, the new stuff does catch me from time to time. I'm not going to sit here and poo-poo it, but the problem is it's like if you can't keep up with it, I feel like I'm lost. So, that's one of the issues I have with staying up present day. But look, I pay attention to MJF at AEW, of course, what's happening right now with Cody Rhodes and everything. I think it's pretty cool. The Rock coming back, I think that's fantastic. I know that's kind of, against it from what I gather. The Rock is not a fan favorite at this point in time for some, but he will always be for me. But all I do know is like hearing Ric Flair talk about being the best technical wrestler of all time. When he gave his answer, it was Bret the Hitman Hart. We talked about it yesterday with Chill and Wes. They came through, Chill Moody and Wes Manchild, who have a project coming out here. And it was so cool to just hear his thoughts as far as, the best technical wrestler is Bret the Hitman Hart. And he said his favorite was Shawn Michaels. I thought that was pretty cool. And I think a lot of us can agree with that. All right. Joining us via the stream. We're buzzing. Whoa. Hang on. A freshly shaved.
Yeah, we got
fresh face Luke Arcaini joining us right now.
Freshly shaved last night. Fresh
Yeah.
shave. Sean, I got a question for you.
Talk to me.
How the hell do you expect me to follow up Ric Flair on your show?
Woo! Dude, how crazy is that?
That was unbelievable.
Yeah, when I put the tweet out earlier, and I didn't keep it up because I had to get rid of the stream earlier. If something was wrong with it, but I put Sean Bernard, Ric Flair, and then Luke Arcaini, and I'm like, look at these guys in between, filling in the sandwich here for Ric Flair. I thought that was pretty damn cool to see. But hey, man, great stuff. We continue to move in the right direction, and of course, you're a big piece of that puzzle, sir. And now is your time because it's Philly season. It's MLB. I love it. We did have a fun time last night. Thanks for rolling through, Luke, as always, with our watch party for the Sixers. Maybe get your thoughts on that on the way out. But as I've said a few times already, Luke is true to who he is because he was solo by himself watching on a cell phone. Again, we're going to make adjustments moving forward when we do our viewing parties. We're going to have more screens,
Got
especially
cater to everybody here.
Yeah, when Philadelphia teams are playing, I feel like we need to have the screens up, but it was our first one. So we got to work on the AC and we got to work on other screens. But you were keeping us up to date on all things Bryce Harper, and like one of the first times that somebody's ever went 0 for 11 to start the season and then followed it up with 3 home runs. But it doesn't shock me. It's Bryce Harper. And you knew that he was eventually going to flip that switch, and when he does, look out. But last night, your big takeaway from Harper going yard, not once, not 2 times, but 3 times against the Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah, I mean, he's back. It's all it really ever is for Harper is just the timing, right? It's that's what it is for a lot of these guys once you get back into the new season. Just getting the timing back, getting back to these guys throwing 98, 99 right in front of you, right? It's not easy to just come back and just go right into a 162 game season especially for Harper after missing the last 9 spring training games. I mean, the swing looks unbelievable. It's butter. Just a complete flip of a switch. Was it the Shiesty mask? I would have to say yes. I mean, it had to be.
Shiesty mask? Is that
0 for 11 without the mask, 3 home runs with the mask. Just has to be the mask.
No, I thought Philadelphia wanted to outlaw the Shiesty mask, but I think we got to move on from that.
You can't wear it on SEPTA, but you can wear it if you're Bryce Harper.
So good.
Hopefully he wears it today if they ever somehow get this game in. It's funny because this game was originally supposed to obviously be at 1:00. I know you had tickets.
Did you say this is funny? Oh, did you?
Oh, well, not that, but
I know,
it is kind of interesting how they are pushing the game more towards
ridiculous.
the worst part of the weather.
Oh, is it even getting worse later tonight?
Apparently,
I didn't know that.
What I saw is the rain's really only supposed to get worse. So,
dude, why won't they cancel the game? All right, so first of all, if you can correct me on this is an MLB deal. It's not the Phillies, right?
Yeah. So it's from what I've heard and seen, the Phillies and the Reds both want their off day tomorrow. They don't want to move this to tomorrow, even though I believe tomorrow is supposed to be clear. I don't know if the boys have a tea time at like Pine Valley or tomorrow. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But neither team wants to really push this game to tomorrow. So, I mean, I'd be willing to say they'll be willing to start this game by 8, 9 o'clock tonight. I think. I don't think. I think this game is happening today. It's just a matter of how long it takes for it to happen. Which it could be. From what it seems like right now, from what the forecast, and I'm no meteorologist, but I don't see a window for a baseball game. Apparently the Phillies do. I don't. So, but listen, that's why I'm not making the call, I guess.
Yeah, look, and as someone had a ticket, look, they were business person special. I bought them. I was hoping that you and I would be able to go to a game today. If not, then Jansen was going to go, whatever. And, this game was scheduled to start at 1:00. And I'm like, okay, I have no issues if you want to bounce it back, but that's just me. Other people have different stuffs going on in their lives. And then all of a sudden I get an email. It's like, well, 4:05 was originally the thought, but probably going to push that back. And we are, I forget what the exact words were, as Philly sent out the email and it said, we're hoping to get this game and we will think that we're going to get this game. And it's like, I don't know how fair that is, right? Like, just cancel the damn game.
Just cancel the game.
Season's so long. You can get this in at another time, but I'm crying. Who cares? As far as tonight's game, if they do decide to play this bad boy, the starting pitching remains the same in your mind, or do we change things here?
From what I've seen, Wheeler's going to go either way. So it will be Zach Wheeler out there versus most likely Frankie Montas. He was the original starter for the Reds tonight. No word on him not starting this delayed game, so it seems like the matchup will be the same. We did get a lineup earlier. It had Whit Merrifield in there. Rojas was out in center. No Alec Boehm today. He's getting the day off. But yeah, it seems everything's normal as can be tonight, other than the weather. So matchups are the same. Everything's the same. A bet if you do want to for some reason bet on this cold, rainy, weird game, Wheeler strikeouts. Wheeler looked really good first start. I think he goes pretty deep tonight. I think the Reds are going to surprise some people this year, and I think they've surprised some people already throughout this series. I think Wheeler's just a way better pitcher than the Reds lineup is hitters. So I would look at Wheeler tonight. But I don't recommend putting any big sum of money into this game tonight. It's going to be cold. It's going to be rainy. The wind's going to be blowing in. I wouldn't touch this game that much tonight.
Except for a Bryce Harper home run, which you get. Yeah,
I do say don't touch anything. But my first thought this morning when I was thinking about this game was when Harper goes, he goes. So if you do want to maybe look for a home run prop, I probably would look at Harper again, either Harper or Schwarber. I like Schwarber tonight as well too.
Plus 340 on DK for a home run. Total bases for Bryce Harper. Plus money at plus 130 at over 1.5. That's got to get a look right there for me. Yeah. Again, we don't know what's happening there, but they did, withstand the elements last night to a nice victory. And, you and I have been talking about this with the group and the group text. Like, this is a football city. We live and die every day. We think it's 16 games when in fact it's 162. But I think everybody took a nice sigh of relief yesterday. Nice exhale after Harper hits his first, second, and then third, and they put that bad boy away with the grand slam there. But
I remember coming on here, I think the first week of last season, like twice a week. And I think every time I came on your show, I said, everybody just needs to take a deep breath. It is a long season. We have played 5 baseball games. Yep. We are equivalent right now to the Eagles being in the first quarter of the first game of their season, if you really want to look at it in a football way. So everybody needs to take a breath. Everything's going to be okay. They started off 1-5 last year. Everything's okay. The Braves 2 years ago when they won the World Series started off 1-6. Ooh. Everything's okay. You don't have to get off to a hot start to win games in the MLB. I know everybody wants to, but it's okay. Everything's going to be all right. Everything's going to be okay.
I'd like to have some fun with you here, since I don't believe we're going to be playing a game tonight, but we'll see how this one plays out.
Let's get on the cut app and wager about it here.
I like that. As far as, make sure you join KUTT.com. Go ahead and check them out. Download the app, the cut app, and promo code GAMBLER. All right. And please sign up, join us in our group. And you got all of our personalities, everybody involved with the Gambler Gang, trading bets, going head to head. You out there, the listener, the viewer, can join us as well. Take our money. Everyone's been taking Jansen's money from the beginning, so might as well get invested, get involved too. It's fun. It's really fun. Johnny Red X just gives it away.
Johnny Red X. Johnny Red X is pumping money into the cut app.
Oh yeah, I felt bad actually. I did. I was like, dude, I'm taking like $25 a time off you here. Anyways, I want to go big picture with you, and like I said, we're 5-6 games into this season so far, and there's a couple of different ways we can take this. But is there a team right now that is really impressing you? And it can't be the Dodgers. That's the only caveat, because we know the Dodgers were going to be juggernauts, and they are impressive, but they better be impressive with that number one payroll too, of course.
Honestly,
that are filling that up. But
they wouldn't even be the most impressive team in their division right now, but that's another story for another. But.
Okay, we'll carry on with that thought, please.
The Diamondbacks we hate them after last year, but they're really good. They have a really good squad right now, especially lineup. Lourdes Gurriel's hitting the crap out of the ball for them right now. Christian Walker. Corbin Carroll got off to a bit of a tough start, but he's kind of getting back there. Ketel Marte. They looked great today on the mound. Merrill Kelly. Zach Gallen looked good last night. Diamondbacks have a good squad. They're going to have another good year, and I think they're going to go pretty deep again into the playoffs. There's a good chance I think we match up again with them this year in the playoffs. They have a really good squad. So as far as National League, I would probably say, I mean, other than the Pirates, they're 5-0 to start. Not really expected. They've been balling out. If you want to go on the flip side of that, the Marlins are a team that I was very down on this year. They won a ton of one-run games last year. That's not sustainable, and they're proving that early. They're 0-7. They have a negative 27 run differential. They've scored 24 runs in 7 games. They've allowed 51 runs so far this season in 7 games. And all of their games have been at home. They still have not went on the road yet. So they are now 0-8 since the Bryson Stott Grand Slam in Game 2 of the wild card. Yeah, it's been a very rough start for the Marlins. The offense can't get going. The arms aren't there. I think it's going to be a pretty brutal season for them, but that's something that I talked about with you all offseason. What they did last year was not sustainable for the roster they had. They didn't have a good roster last year. They just found ways to win games, and eventually you need the talent out there, especially in the National League when you have to go up against, even in the NL East, the Phillies, the Braves, and then even like the Brewers, the Pirates right now, Dodgers, Diamondbacks, Padres. Like, what we thought going into this offseason was going to be a bad National League turned into a National League with a lot of good teams in it. So the Marlins need to really figure it out.
You just mentioned the Miami Marlins.
Yeah.
They are 0-7. There's only 2 teams that have yet to find a victory in this short early part of the season so far. And the other one is the New York Mets.
In your face.
Yeah.
Mets and Marlins winless.
The Mets have 3 more games postponed than they have wins this year.
Wow. I do want to bring this up. Yesterday with that booth that they have, and they are tremendous. That's a great 3-way booth with Darling, Keith Hernandez, and Gary Cohn. I believe Gary Cohn, right? I want to say that's correct. I could be mistaken on that. Anyways, he comes out. I saw it on Crossing Broad this morning, and he essentially, this is game 4 of the regular season. Game 4. And he was saying, well, you better get some snacks to help you get through this one. Like, dude, the season just started. You're supposed to have some juice, some life, enthusiasm. Yeah, 0 for that franchise right now. If it can happen to the Mets, it will happen. All right, big picture with Luke Arcaini talking all things MLB. We're in a fantasy league. It's going well. So you know who the top 10 guys were, like Ronald Acuna. We can go to Julio Rodriguez, Mookie Betts. Outside of those big names, who's somebody right now that has shown you something that maybe we should have been looking at possibly in the top 10 or a top 5 pick? Is there a player that's already ripping the cover off the ball that maybe was like a 50 or a 40 ranked 40th, but right now, again, way too early, but bottom line is impressing you so far?
Out in Milwaukee, not Rhys Hoskins.
Rhys?
A guy that really got off to an unbelievable start early in his career and then kind of fell off the last few years. Christian Yelich. He kind of fell in draft boards. I don't think he should have been top 5, top 10, probably not even top 15 or 20, but definitely a player that's really impressed and has been a big reason why Milwaukee is winning this year. He has a 1.14 OPS. He's hitting over 350. He looks really solid at the plate. He was a player who, when he came up, he was really exciting. And he had that really good rookie year in Milwaukee. And then he just kind of fell off the earth for like 3 years. I think it was 2020 or 2021. He had a really bad year. He looks really good this year. Other than that, Anthony Volpe's had a pretty good start to his season for New York.
Leading in the in batting average right now.
Yeah, so he's hitting 500. He is the 3rd ranked OPS in all baseball right now. His at bats just look a lot better. His swing looks a lot smoother than last year. It looks really like quick to the ball, simple. He was trying to just do too much last year, I think. As a rookie going to play shortstop for the New York Yankees, everybody wants you to be the next Derek Jeter. It's a lot of pressure for a kid that's my age from New Jersey. trying to go be the next Yankee shortstop of the future. It's a lot of pressure, but he's had a really nice year so far through the first. I think he's played 6 games so far this year. Yeah, so he's had a nice start though for the Yanks.
Oh, by the way, drafted by yours truly right here.
There you go. Look at that. They've also looked really good too, the Yankees so far. As long as that rotation can hold up. And I think that was the worry now with no Garrett Cole, because I think we know that offense can hit. I was a little worried about late in the offense, but if you get, Juan Soto hitting like Juan Soto, Aaron Judge just hit his first homer about 10 minutes ago.
Yep.
That lineup can win you some games by itself. So as long as they stay there, Boston Red Sox, I predicted to be one of the 5 worst teams in the American League. I think they're going to definitely fall back down to earth a little bit, but they have actually had a pretty good start so far. But for me, really, the Yankees and the Pirates, and those are really the 2 for me.
All right. Yeah, it's a lot of fun to see some of these new teams come up and start to do big things. Cincinnati being one of them, of course, with the young guns that they have, and of course Pittsburgh, which we discussed. O'Neal Cruz was my 25-1 MVP, and Juan Soto in the American League at 6-1.
There you go.
Doing all right. Again, 5 games into the regular season. I don't think I can cash that ticket just yet, but still a lot of fun to have that. Yeah, I was curious. I wanted to get into a little bit of the Yankees, but since you just brought that up, talk to me about the Orioles, because going into this season, I thought the O's would win that division again and go well over their team total of 90.5. We know how that division beats up on each other. What are we looking at right now as far as the Orioles so far into this early part of the season?
Yeah, I like the Orioles still to win that division. I think it's early. I think they're kind of how the Phillies are right now. They're just knocking some rust off, I think. They're young. They just kind of have to get back into that groove again. But I think they'll be okay. The offense has been a little shaky. The bullpen hasn't looked great. But I don't think there's any need to worry about the Orioles just yet.
Okay. And as far as pitching is concerned, is there a pitcher or two, a lot like the question I just asked you, as far as the hitters that were ranked in like top 10 coming into the year for fantasy? Who's a pitcher that wasn't one of those guys that we were being discussed as far as top 5 that really is doing well so far, that showed you a lot last year, maybe in an early part of this year's got it going early?
I'm going to go with a veteran in Shane Bieber, who I would love to say on the air right now. I'm going to predict that he's going to be a Philly at the trade deadline.
How about that?
I think his first 2 starts, he has 20 strikeouts. He's looked unbelievable so far. Definitely a little bit of a down year the last year or 2. But when Bieber's on, he's gross. And now playing for this Guardians team, who doesn't really, I don't think, have that big of hopes this year. I think they'll be, once we get to that middle of July time, they'll be looking to get off of Bieber, I think, at the deadline. I think the Phillies should be all over that. So I'll say Shane Bieber for that one.
And
he's not really, really solid.
And how surprised are you? Because we know he's always had the stuff.
Yeah, he's always good, but he has looked like dominant Bieber again, which is awesome.
Yeah. All right. Once again, Luke Arcaini doing an unbelievable job covering all things Phillies and MLB for us. We got to go over and get some plays going here. How much you look at the card for this evening? And again, weather is just so tough, and we got some games being canceled on the East Coast here. I always prefer to find that the good weather as far as the dome controlled environment with the Yankees and Diamondbacks out there, although the Yankees ended up losing yesterday to Zach Gallen, which did not think was a surprise. Gallen was pretty damn dominant at home over the years. Anything for you in tonight's card? We got a couple decent games. Astros and Blue Jays are getting it going. We got the Dodgers and the Giants at 10-10 with Glasnow and Harrison. Dodgers are a minus 238 favorite in that one, plus 195. Anything for you in the Giants or the total? Haven't the Dodgers gone over their total in every single one of their games so far? 8.5.
Yeah. I would just ride Mookie again. Mookie's been unbelievable. My one play I do love tonight, though, Yordan Alvarez homer. He's a career 5 for 15 with 4 home runs and 9 RBIs against Chris Bassett. Absolutely owns the dude. Has not hit a homer yet this year. I think tonight's the night. I believe I got the number at like plus 360 or something like that for Jordan. So I like that one a lot tonight. I would also have his bases obviously along with that. I would maybe look at Altuve as well. And then like you said, that Cubs game, I would look at Cody Bellinger. Again, he hit an absolute nuke last night that hit my one bet last night. That was the home run play of the day yesterday. Me and Joe Tansey have been on fire with the home runs recently.
Nice.
So today's Jordan for me. Jordan's the big one tonight.
What do you guys got? A little secret Slack chat going on? You're not sharing with the boys?
Actually going back and forth, getting some stats.
You could feel free to share some of those home run plays if you want.
Bellinger was on the timeline hours before the game yesterday.
Oh, was he?
Oh yeah.
Get in the ring. I want a little piece of the action here.
Come on now.
My kid. Fantastic stuff, Luke. I'll tell you what, man. This season already off, and a lot of juice is going for some people out there, for Phillies fans. And, this is the time of year where it's like it's early, so no one wants to get too bogged down. But it changed, and I know it changed a lot with Bryce Harper, but the success of this team, the expectations, of course, a lot has to do with Bryce Harper. But it's great when people are living and dying with this team every single night. And I know everyone wants to scream, pump the brakes, but man, there's just something different about the city. Yeah,
there's juice here.
Yeah, the enthusiasm.
When you have a city again that's flipping out over a loss in April, that's a good thing. Like, and I know I hate it, but like that's a good thing. Like this is slowly turning from a city that was all football from 2017 to 2021, back into a baseball and football city. There's a lot of juice right now around the Phillies. And it's really all because of the man at the top. I mean, like Ric Flair said, that goddamn Bryce Harper.
Not one, not two, not three, but 3 home runs. Final thought, or final question on the way out here. We were a part of the watch party watching Sixers and, of course, OKC last night, the return of Joel Embiid. Where are you at right now with this team? What is your mind, your frame of mind as we are inching closer, 6 games left in the regular season? Who knows how this ends? I think we got an 8% chance right now to get the 6th seed. If we'd get the 6th seed, holy good grief, watch out.
Yeah,
but
I mean, that's a hell of
where are you at right now?
That's the run. You want that 6th seed.
They need some help, though. That's the issue.
Yeah, they need some help. Even if you get that 7th seed, if you win the playoff or the playing game, I mean, it's kind of basically the same thing. You just lose the home court. But for me, it's really, if they can get into that 6th seed, I still think they're the second best team in the East. And if they can get past Cleveland, they can beat Doc Rivers in the 2nd round. And for me, they have not showed me enough that I think they can beat Boston. But I think they can get to Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals. I think the matter of them beating them is a whole nother story right now, because I just think Boston's in a world of their own this year. But I think the Sixers have a path. They have a path to get there. And listen, they haven't showed me that they can beat Boston really, but I would say maybe, just maybe, if there's a year, I think it could maybe be this one. I think Embiid's, obviously he was gassed last night, but I still think the legs are a little fresher than they have been in years just because he missed the games. I think this kind of new style of basketball that we've had this year, now with Embiid back, I think that's going to help. And I think, bottom line, Nick Nurse. I think Nick Nurse is a winner. I think he is the absolute opposite of that loser we've had here the last 4 years in Doc Rivers. If they get to Boston, I think Nick Nurse would probably be the biggest reason why they beat Boston. I still can't buy it yet, but I think they can get there.
Well, at least we're in the conversation at this point in time, and the return of the big man.
So
yeah, moving in the right direction. So we'll see how this plays out over the next 6 games. We'll be all over it for you right here. Sean Bernard was quick to point out Doc Rivers' latest excuse last night, where he blamed it on the.
He is a generational loser. He's a generational loser.
You would think he would have some awareness after what was said on national TV by JJ Redick, and had to have his son come to his, have his back, and like everybody having a take on that. Like, Doc, maybe some awareness isn't a bad deal. Maybe
he's just gonna go. He's gonna beat like the Miami Heat in the first round. He's gonna lose to a team in the second round, and the excuse is gonna be, well, I didn't have a full season.
Yep, exactly.
He's just a generational loser. I would be willing to bet on anything I own that he never wins an NBA championship again, ever.
This is probably his last stop. He'll get another shot next year with the Milwaukee Bucks. And if they don't win it next year, they'll probably move on from him. But we'll see how that one plays out.
How many teams are going to hire him and can just continue to not realize?
You're right. Maybe he might have another team in the running for him.
What? He's locked up with Milwaukee through 26?
Yeah, they'll get him, though.
If
he doesn't deliver next year, give him a full year. If it,
I love it. Let him crash and burn another team. Who's next? Go back to Boston, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Luke, fantastic stuff. We'll continue following you on socials. Luke and I, the podcast, we got to get busy. Once Mania Week wraps up, we're going to be all over it. April is all things Phillies. Luke Arcaini doing a bang-up job covering them for us here on The Gambler. Can't thank you enough, Luke. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Tom.
My man, there he is. Luke Arcaini on The Gambler stream. All right, coming up next, let's go. As you heard the bell, we got some WrestleMania coverage that is kicking off here in the next hour. 5 o'clock hour coming up next. Roy Burton opening up shop from 5 to 6 p.m. and then Shooters Radio. Bang, bang! Nick Pacone and Vaughn Johnson doing it like nobody else out there. They do it year round, and they've been doing it for years. This is awesome to get those guys to light somewhat here on The Gambler, because they deserve that and even more. And of course, Roy doing an awesome job as well. Yesterday rolled out his first hour for us. So Roy's going to take over here at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, Shooters Radio till 9 p.m. And then tomorrow, folks, a little early at 1 o'clock, Jason Solomon will be live in studio with Mark Henry, the world's strongest man. Yeah, that's going down here inside The Gambler and the Duncan Lounge. So we'll have that streaming on YouTube, of course, from Solomon's channels as well. All things WWE over the next couple of days right here on The Wrestler, including Friday when we're broadcasting live from the convention center. Watch out. Everybody, stay dry. Phillies canceled the damn game so I can get these tickets to another game. That'd be great. I'm ready to eat them. You play this game, I'm not going. If anybody's listening and you want these 2 tickets, they play this game, hit me up, DM me. I'll shoot them to you because I'm not going to use them. It's windy. It's nasty. Nah, I'm good on that. I don't have anyone to go with me. Everyone canceled. I'll take the fall on that one. Anyways, once again, Roy Burton's coming up now, 6 o'clock, Shooters Radio. Everybody enjoy the rest of your day. Good luck on those plays. We'll be back tomorrow. Brand new daily ticket at 3 p.m. Make sure you follow us at Fox PHL Gambler. Stay up to date on everything we got cooking, including tomorrow's live broadcast between Jason Solomon and Mark Henry. Talk to you.
It's a wrestling takeover. Tune into The Gambler, The Wrestler, all week long for full coverage of WrestleMania, taking place right here in Philly.